Okay, hello everybody. This is Conquering History Games, and welcome back to the Nimbusia, that's how it's actually pronounced, Nimbusia campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4, Equestria at War. I know there was a little bit of a gap, but I was waiting for this update to happen. There was a hot fix that basically improved Nimbusia a bit, just fleshed it out a little bit more, and it appears to be save game compatible. So anyway, back to the curious case of Star Chaser. I don't remember if I read this or not. I'm pretty sure I did, but basically it's a griffin who he thinks he's a pony, and so he wants to do the trials of the cyclone. To which I say, arrest the spy. Now, national focus complete. A pair of wings. New chief of army in the militarized society of Nimbusia. The army is at the center of politics. To maintain democratic control of the military, the B elects Pegasi for certain military offices. It is now time for the B to elect a new chief of army, and all three factions can put forward their preferred candidates, so the vote can still swing in one of three ways. Unlikely spy. The purists made sure that the griffin would be in custody with ponies they trusted. It was said that the Star Chaser was interrogated for 5 days straight by the military, who wanted to make sure the griffin confessed to espionage. And indeed, in a public hearing, the once proud griffin, with his feathers ruffled, gave his confession, visibly shaking. The bird seemed unconvinced of his testimony himself, but that did not stop Star Chaser from admitting to being Frederick Razorclaw, and that griffins could never be ponies, to not even mention becoming a Nimbusian citizen. For the public, even this forced testimony was enough to tip the balance and throw the griffin out of the country. So we got some political power back, and the fascists are once again more popular. Sweet. Crystal Empire. Oh, Sombra's back. Always makes for an interesting game. Let's see who he'll marry in the end. Because if he pulls off the Civil War, he can marry three people. Chrysalis, Luna, or Radiant Hope, which I guess is a comic character or something. I don't think she's in the show. They speak of war. Alright, Celestia is keeping an eye out. Yeah, the Elenian Civil War is going on. I can't believe we're still in just the first year of the game. That's cool, in a way. End of the Wingbardian Civil War. Yep, the communes. They did it pretty easily, it seems. Oh, this is one of the changes they made. There's now a strait here down to the deer from Nimbusia, which is good because I've got ambitions to go down there. Okay, what am I going to do with this political power? I can't go to partial mobilization. Maybe later once I turn. So we'll just hold on to the political power for right now. We don't even have enough to fill in all this. We don't have the infantry equipment we need. Okay, new chief of the army. The B has been convened to decide on a new chief of army, and 3 candidates have presented themselves for the station. Instead of just being a meritocratic assignment, the chief of army's opinions hold a lot of sway over the Nimbusian population, and all 3 factions have rallied around a candidate of their choosing. The reformists support Skleronavates, an old comrade of Metacaros, who has openly expressed the need to reform the army and to not discard foreign advancements on military technology. Kera Unoptos is the traditionalist candidate, an old guard general of Nimbusia who is both respected for his martial knowledge and his virtuous, incorruptible behavior. The purists have brought forward a candidate in their midst, namely the Field Marshal Glyphippos. Known for his charisma and his Pegasi first attitudes, the general is sure to be controversial. So it looks like we're going to pay political power no matter who we pick. But, oh, for once, Glyphippos, the fascist, is the least bad option. So he's an army organization expert. He's going to give us more division organization as well as daily fascist support. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. There goes my political power, though. You see, this is why I should just not be spending it. All right, suspend the Graf Paranome. The purists have increased their control over the military to the point where they are now openly conspiring against democracy. They seek to intimidate the ecclesia into suspending the Graphi Paranome, the fundamental law that enables undemocratic laws to be overturned. Is this how democracy dies? This is how democracy dies? Alright. Pegacles' funeral. He's dead now. In the middle of the agora, surrounded by mourning ponies, lay the body of Strategos Pegacles. He had passed away peacefully in his home, and his body had been prepared with the utmost care. The great hero of Nimbusia was an embodiment of the values the nation cherished. The general was brave, but did not risk his life foolishly. He was charitable, but didn't spend too much money. He was likable, but never overpraised any pony. The wailing of crying mares filled the air of the great city of Nimbusia for many hours, and even the stallions could not keep their tears to themselves. A great pony had gone into the afterlife, and more than ever the Nimbusians realized that they stood at the end of an era. That day, every pony forgot their political allegiance or their standing as the Strategos was laid to rest outside the city's gate in a plain tomb, as was tradition. No pony held a funeral oration for the great hero, since any leader that would do so would be seen as taking advantage of the situation. No pony would stoop that low. So the stalwart defender of Nimbusia went without praise, though no words were necessary for the Pegasus. With him, the last thing that bound the factions of Nimbusian politics also vanished. Now would be a time of mourning, but many feared for the safety of his legacy, now that the Pegasus had passed to another world. Woe unto us, we've now got the provisional government, which basically says we can't do anything. He passed away, so this is the one that everybody gets. With his uniting presence now removed, it seems that these factions are growing bolder by the day. With the death of its leader, the time has come for Nimbusia to change, and the Riverlands wait to see what will come next. He was an example to us all. I should just stop looking at these decisions. I'm not going to really be able to afford anything. Also, let's switch things up a little bit here. We're going to... Yeah, we'll have you in charge here. As for the field marshal, we don't have one anymore. Oh yeah, Glyphipos. So he is a war hero, he is a career officer, and he is a fast planner as well as charismatic. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Alright. We could improve the workers' conditions. There's probably worse ideas. Yeah, let's do it. Gotta keep that stability up. Keep it high. Democracy under siege. The last few months have seen the support for the purist officers spread well beyond the ranks of the military. The young officer Andrea has managed to persuade and intimidate many Nimbusians to her sides. As time passed, she and her supporters grew bolder and bolder, openly denouncing democracy. The tensions have risen to a boiling point, however, with Andrea pushing a law through the B, which would suspend the Graphi Paranome, the law that allows unjust laws to be repealed. To every pony's surprise, however, the citizens of Nimbusia did not stand for this anti-democratic move from the purists. The peasant officer's speech before the ecclesia was arrogant and already assumed her victory, but the other factions rallied and bonded forces to stop her. Falling just short of a majority, the move that would secure the purist power was rejected by the citizens. Andrea stormed out of the theater, boiling with rage, as the ponies that still supported democracy celebrated long into the night. There was no thunderous applause. Oh, so my popularity still went up. That's actually a little weird. Okay, so I think something should be happening here soon. Let's let the national focuses start to fill up. If we don't get anything by then, okay. Let's do help for farmers. The backbone of our society may be our military, but the foundation which keeps it standing is the agriculture which feeds our soldiers. While those who work the farms may be simple helots, non-citizens, we must still provide support for them in order to guarantee our society's source of food. Yeah, we don't want them to get all pissy and uprise. Look, right here. So this is something that's going to happen if I'm ever below 40% stability. They're going to uprise. If the current political crisis is not resolved, they may use the opportunity to rise up with grave consequences for the nation. We got to keep an eye out for that. Let's also get rid of this awful teal. Do something like this. Yeah. A secret meeting. So it's a secret. It's a secret. Andrea managed to get herself into a private meeting with Glyhippos, the chief of army. His support was going to be crucial in the upcoming events. Luckily for Andrea, she already knew that the purist was on her side. The conversation boiled down to planning the coup, with the experienced field marshal giving Andrea sound advice. Andrea, who had secretly began doubting if her plan could succeed, found herself relieved by Glyhippos's support. When she left his office, the Pegasus was more determined than ever to see her vision for Nimbusia come true. The coup must succeed. An exchange of oaths. Oh yeah. This is the good stuff, everybody. Okay, so remember, we're talking about, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. These are the two I'm talking about. These two right here. Glehippos and Andrea. An exchange of oaths. It was the evening before the coup, and Andrea was about to go to sleep. Much was on the line, but Glehippos and she had prepared the coup to the best of their ability, listing the strategic points and buildings the purists had to capture in the capital. But before she could sleep, an unexpected knock on the door made Andrea's body tense up. After a moment, Andrea steeled herself and answered the door, half expecting guards ponies who had come to arrest her. However, on the doorstep stood but one Pegasus, Field Marshal Glehippos himself, the chief of army. The stallion apologized for coming in at such a late hour, but there was something both of them still had to do. Andrea could not help but to glare at Glehippos' side where a dagger was sitting in its sheath. The older stallion followed the mayor's gaze and smirked. "I'm not here to kill you, Andrea. I am here to tie our fates." Andrea briefly thought about the improper ways that could be interpreted, but she understood what he meant. Glehippos wanted to take an oath. She took a deep breath and glared sternly at the gray-eyed stallion. "Yes, that would be best." I don't remember what my voice was for her, I'm so sorry. Both generals took a while to determine the exact contents of their oath, the dagger on the table between them as they discussed. Andrea felt the last of her doubts melt away in the presence of a great hero like Glehippos, a stallion both brave and wise. As was tradition, the Pegasi looked each other in the eye as they recited their oath, calling upon the gods as their witnesses. To seal their promise, the generals both made a small cut in their flesh, a few red drops of blood falling on Andrea's table. It was one of the most intense feelings the mayor had ever felt. She was alive, at the zenith of her power, and she knew the world would tremble beneath her hooves. One stare at her co-conspirator told Andrea that he felt much the same, although the stallion managed to conceal it much better than herself. Evening had given way to night, but there was still time left to enjoy the calm before dawn. We are in this together. Plus 2% popularity change in fascists, and plus 30 political power. Here we go. Here we go. Night before the coup. I hope you all enjoyed that. I know I did. The flawless takeover. Andrea and Glehippos launched their coup at dawn without warning. The two had assigned groups of purists to take over crucial buildings in the capital, making sure to attach well-spoken officers to each group. These officers managed to convince even most reformists that wanted to fight that they had to stand down since there was no hope for their cause. Momentum was everything. If resistance didn't materialize the first day, it would not afterwards. The takeover of the Acropolis, the central squares, and government buildings went without the spilling of any blood. Now the most important objective was preventing especially democratic ponies from banding together, so Glehippos rushed towards the central broadcasting station of Nimbusia to calm the citizens down. Via radio broadcast, the chief of army addressed Nimbusians and urged them to stay home. He told the ponies that the institutions of the country would be restored as soon as any traitors were dealt with. The stallion's calm and commanding voice doused the fires of resistance before they could rage out of control. And indeed, no big revolt came. When night fell on Nimbusia, no pony contested the purist takeover. The army paraded the streets to show its compliance with the new government, and the civilians stayed at home. A burden fell off of Andrea's shoulders. They had saved Nimbusia and secured power for themselves. The future is bright. Perfect! More political power, more popularity, purists become the ruling party, public elections will not be held, Andrea is now a field marshal, and we now load the new political focus tree. Purist coup in Nimbusia. Under the leadership of two generals, part of the Nimbusian military launched a coup in the capital, Nimbusia. With flawless discipline and cunning, the soldiers managed to stop any pony from resisting the takeover. The leaders of the two more democratic factions of Nimbusia have fled the capital, while the military enjoys their victory. The fate of Nimbusia hangs in the balance. We have taken our rightful place. Okay, a lot going on there. I'm sorry, weren't we doing help for the farmers? Did it just cancel? Okay, but we've got this is new and this is new. Got a few things here. First off, are we getting daily change? We're getting a little bit of daily change to the fascism right now, so that's cool. But we've got basically 3 decisions to make. Do we want to come up here and work towards philosophical traditions so we can fix our research base? Or do we want to do confrontation and start thinking about going to war with people? Monthly population gets reduced here. Non-core manpower minus 1%. I think what we want to do... This is tricky. This is kind of tricky. Let's close this stupid thing. We're not joining the Federation. Alright. We have our Glory Seeker here. She increases war support and attack, lowers defense, increases recovery rate, and then the AI gets a broader focus on offense. So I think what we got to do is we have to deal with this the B here that's hurting our political power gain as well as increasing the cost of a lot of things. So I think we got to come down here to the advisory bowl. State of war in the minds of the people. There is a difference between peace and war. It is clear, however, that there will always be another war, and we should prepare for it. By declaring Nimbusia to be in a perpetual state of war, we will be able to take all the necessary measures for the defense of our nation. So this is going to seriously modify. Well, first we're going to get perpetual state of war, which will give me another 7% recruitable population. But let's not forget, because we're keeping the citizens Perio, Koi, and Helots, we're losing a lot of recruitable population factor, and it's actually going to go down. So even though we've got high recruitable population, the factor is going to be significantly reduced. So this, but between the modification and the war's perpetual state of war, we're going to get another 10% recruitable population out of this. Unfortunately, we're also going to lose monthly population growth. So there's a lot of give and take. We're never going to have too big of an army because we've taken this path, so we need to make it count. We're almost done with the infantry equipment deficit, though, so that's something. Now then, I'm thinking, let's get you guys down here, like so. Start thinking about potential areas that we're going to expand into. Come on, what's going on here? There we go. Katayigida Terrarius. Alright, what's next? So we can go with the Timocracy, which will give me political power, or I can go with the Aristocracy, in which Glahippos, who's more defensively minded, he's the one who will become the leader. And this also takes us down some other paths. Down here, requires one of the following. Flying Phalanx, Pegasi, get additional hardness. Flying army. Okay, so basically, if we stick with her, she's offensively minded, and he's more about planes and defense. Very interesting. Well, we're going to go with the Timocracy. She's the one who's wanted this the whole time. It was the bold spirit and search for glory of the young officers of Nimbusia which led us to finally take full control of the state. It is therefore only fair. The most energetic and brave Pegasi should lead the country. We will proclaim Andrea as our autocratessa. And plus, we're gonna soon have enough. Well, no. We shouldn't spend any political power until we're done with the advisory thing. Because are we gonna lose any good things from that? It increases stability by 20%, so we're gonna lose that. That kind of sucks, but it's fine. We'll just oh, that's gonna put me at under 40%. But we've got the improved workers' conditions happening right now also, so that's increasing stability. Still, we might need a detour somewhere else to find something that gives me stability. Industry, new jobs for farmers, blacksmiths, army reform. I'm not sure where I can find something like that. Perpetual agoge. No. I gotta figure something out. What are we gonna do? I think we're gonna need to... I could just get help for farmers real quick. Is anything here going to give me stability? War Industrialist, Ideological Crusader, Fascism Support, Prince of Terror. None of this is going to give me... Yeah, none of these are going to give me stability. How about a Chief of Navy? I know that there's sometimes people who... They give you political power and things like that. All weather. Yeah, I think we're going to just take a little detour up to... Well, we got to... Oh! Base stability plus 10%. Okay, never mind. No problem. Purists assume power. It had been a long day in Nimbusia, and the nation had fundamentally changed during it. The coup of the Purists had succeeded, and their methods having proved effective. The autocratessa now rules alone, the culmination of an entire lifetime of effort and struggle. Andrea was convinced that this would save Nimbusia, save the Pegasi. She had not an ounce of regret. Order had to be enforced, the correct way of life taught to the sniveling peasants beneath her. Andrea was truly happy as she seized complete power, and in a way it had been an inevitability. The will to act was what the purists had in abundance. While the foolish Ecclesia had treasured their debates and their democracy, she had waited. While the delegates argued and bickered over trivial matters, she trained, and when they dared to move against her, she struck. And now that she wielded ultimate power, she could finally realize her ambitions. Life was will to power. Before she had will, now she had power, and she had every intention of using it. For Nimbusia! Great. Oh, that's right, we gotta be at war to go to the war economy. So, actually, what we might do then is we might try to rush down to the southern thrust as quickly as we can. We might also do the service by requirement thing. Then again, I'm not sure my economy can handle that. I've got no army experience. I need a theorist. I need so much. I'm really deep in the hole here, guys. Yeah, let's pick you up again. Grand Galloping Gala. Do I have an air force at least? Not really. I've got just the one fighter wing. There is so much to do. Wait, who's justifying on me? The Grand Principality of Lake City is justifying on us. Okay. River Society of Science. River Republic has proposed a student exchange program along with the permanent knowledge sharing initiative. The River Society of Science will help to improve learning throughout the Riverlands, although the plan would benefit our country. Oh, wait, no, I know what this is. No, we will not share our knowledge with anybody. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is changing the game plan. We're going to come over here to Might Makes Right, and then try to get to subjugate the Riverlands, because that's going to give me a war goal. And so what we're going to try to do is squeeze the River Republic and anybody who sticks with them between Lake City. Now, hopefully Lake City is going to pick up Deponia right now. That would actually be good, because it's going to weaken the River Union as a whole, and Lake City can't take everybody on their own right now. So what we also got to do is get you guys down here. No. That's not going to work. Okay. The River Republic would definitely obviously we're going to have to fight them. But we then need to think about how we can possibly fill in the rest of... Man, this is going to be tricky. Yeah, how do we fill in these gaps in the line? We might have to make these cheap divisions, and lots of them. Except we don't have infantry equipment. Damn. And then these Pegasi, our phalanxes, will have to be the fist meant to quickly capitulate any of our enemies. There we go. Okay, new research slot available. Let's pick up the industry, of course. There's just so much to do. Death of democracy. What will happen next? Okay, we can do confrontation. Gives me political power, justify war goal time goes down. Oh, if the justify war goal time goes down, what I could do is maybe do Might Makes Right and then manually justify while I work on something else. But let's pick this up. The River Coalition has proven to be useless. We had hopes that the other members would learn to appreciate our culture and emulate our martial traditions. Instead, they feast and profit while we train relentlessly for their safety. We should confront the others about this to save our honor back home. Alright. How's this going? A few more days until they demand the loyalty. We can just leave the faction whenever we want. There's a ton we gotta do to fix this country. Empire of the Shadow Trees. Okay, so that's good. They did give themselves up to Lake City. So then Lake City is eventually going to leave them. Leave the River Union. I'm not sure when the attack will happen. Found the sphere, down with the coalition. Okay, so then what we're probably going to do now is just come down to Might Makes Right and just be in a position that when the time comes, we can go to war with the Union at any time. Now, as I was saying, I think the key to fighting them is going to be to knock out some of them quickly as soon as the war begins. So maybe, for example, come down here in Ponadian, eliminate them fast. We've also got so much political power, and we're not really spending it. So since we won't be going to war for a little while, let's just go up to partial mobilization. Let's also pick up a military theorist. And what else do we want? War industrialist, maybe? No. Non-core manpower plus 2%. Could use all the manpower I can get, but I think instead, let's see, special forces attack. Yeah, that's the one. All right, tribute for protection. The River Republic has proclaimed itself the leader of the Riverlands. However, they are nothing but pompous Xenoi. The Nimbusia has been the true protector of the East ever since the Battle of Thermopylae. This is the time the River Ponies recognize our superiority. What are you doing? Railways. Let's hold off on that for a second and instead maybe pick up some political power. I just need to... No. Industry, maybe? Yeah, we just something in the direction of the philosophical traditions. Yeah, let's just pick up some quick political power so we can keep having some in reserve. We're going to need so many of these cheap units. Don't have the special forces cap to make any more of those. How long is this going to take? 321 days. I don't have engineers. That's kind of important. Well, if I don't have engineers, maybe I should do that. Yeah, we're gonna need engineers, some entrenchment for our phalanxes. I just need to figure out what land doctrine I'm gonna do. Probably will be Grand Battle Plan. Not totally sure yet, though. Alright. We're almost done with the help for farmers. Good. Yeah, let's do the tribute for protection. Let's see what happens. Black and White Storm declared war on Nova Griffonia. Oh, it's the Penguins! They're running wild! Let's see, how strong are they? Take back the Western Empire. Oh, they're right now. It looks like they're weaker. What's the Western Empire mean? Is that the polar bears? Yep, annex war goal against the polar bear communities. I think they're going to end up stretching themselves too much. There go the changelings, though. Who won the Civil War? Queen Velvet. Queen Velvet seems to tend to do a little bit better defensively, but I don't think it's going to go very well for them. I don't want to increase the recruitable population right now. Do I want to do weapons research? Or, no, industry. Can't go wrong with industry. I'm not sure the Republic's going to make it out here in the West. Yeah, there it goes, the failed revolution. It is a rough time for democracy in the nation of Griffonia. Skyfall went fascist. The Second Revolution failed. The communes of Wingbardy are winning. Griffonian Liberation Front is, well, I guess neither of these are truly democratic, but... Federated States of Sycamon. Those ones are... Alright, Pride Wind's about to be created. Okay. Some of these units are ready to deploy. Let's just let the infantry equipment pile up some more, though. We're already on limited exports. I think that's okay. Do we have enough to cover every tile? Okay, at least against the River Republic we do. How many divisions do they got? See, they've got more than us all on their own. River Republic, River Coalition, River Swirl. I'm sensing a theme. Tribute for protection. How do we want to play this out? Where's my divisions? Why aren't they actually up here? Come on. Silly. An unfavorable reply. The foolish River Union has ignored our just demands, stating that our actions were those of a gang of bandits demanding protection money. We have, as such, been expelled from the River Union with harsh condemnation of our actions across the entirety of the Union. This has also outraged many of our more gung-ho generals, with some already demanding that we invade the Union to reclaim what is ours by right. Okay, so we're no longer in the Union. So again, we have to keep an eye on the Grand Principality because we got to squeeze them. That's the key here. We could do Southern Thrust, and then colonize to give us more cores, more factories, a lot of things. We have the greatest military might on the planet, and we should show it. Why wait for an opportune moment to strike? Why bother with flimsy justifications and forged claims? The Nimbusians will fight whoever they see as a worthy opponent whenever they see fit. Okay, yeah, we definitely want to pick that up. Keep working on the industry a bit. And we're also ready for, what do we want? Motorized? No. High command. Can't go wrong. Yeah, let's make the infantry better. Let's just continue to try to make some sort of elite force. God knows it's a small one. Oh, we're actually building another hoplite unit. Great. Very good. I wonder if I should take these guys out and get them training. No. Gotta have that infantry equipment. Blackrock Bandits and the Griffonians are at war over here. Also, it looks like Hellquill is gonna eat up Silver Talon. These two are interesting. I gotta play one of them at some point. There's so many good trees in this game. So much fun to be had. Wow, Vaver Front just barely fell. Like I said, Queen Velvet seems, from what I've observed, she seems to do the best defensively against the Changelings, which I also need to get a Changeling campaign going at some point because it's been due. It's been due, and you know the guy who made the Changeling team has kind of pseudo-retired from the development team, so I've got to pay him tribute and play his country. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games. In the next episode, we should be going to war to the south, taking out the deer and the zebras. And I believe that part of the new update is that we can colonize them now. So I'm looking forward to that, and that'll, give me some cores, give me some manpower, and give me some factories. After that, we got to keep an eye on the River Republic. Oh, excellent! The Eastern Dogs Republic broke away. Very good, very good. This means the Union continues to get weaker. So with any luck, we're only going to have to take on 4 of them eventually. And we can hopefully knock one out really quickly and even the odds. So I'll see you then. Bye.